All right, we're allegedly recording. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope everyone's good this morning. Glad to see you here. Here's some of the organizers. If you are a new face or a returning face, not making any kind of eye contact, those that are returning to us after a while, we'd love to have you speak. We'd love for you to bring us speakers. We're always looking for people to come up here that we can help. And here's some of the sponsors that make this possible. Special thanks to Union Station. Did I not see her now? For where we're currently sitting. And that gets us right into Kate from SBDC. Come on.
Hi, guys.
Good morning.
So, I don't have a presentation. I'm just going to kind of talk, if that's okay with y'all. And if you've ever heard me present or talk, or if you've ever worked with me, you might know that I'm very interactive. I like to move around a lot. I might deviate a little bit, and then we'll bring it back, okay? No worries here. And so I'm just going to talk to you guys today. I want to start with a question, because that's always fun. And I want to ask, when is the last time you did something really silly? Put yourself, do you have the answer? Something really silly. Where
It's
like,
kind of gross though, because if people are eating, maybe not. Maybe I'm not the best choice.
okay. All right. I can take your time. I want you to think back in the recesses of your mind, going, okay, something I did that was silly, or I really put myself out there. Was maybe a little nerve-wracking. I can wait. It could be a long time ago.
I recently took an improv or a stand-up
Ooh.
comedy class.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Was it scary?
Not really, because we didn't have to perform, but I just thought it might give me skills just for thinking on my feet and public speaking.
Okay. So improv comedy, stand-up comedy class. Ooh, that does sound scary. Anyone else? Something scary that they've done. They put themselves out there in a scary way. Or a silly way.
I joined a band accidentally.
Did you really?
So, yeah, I met someone at the expo and they were like, hey, I'm in a local band. Do you want to join? And I was like, I haven't played in 15 years. But sure, I guess they bring the instrument to the chamber and I went and I didn't remember a single note. And I'm just sitting there like doing the slide motions, looking like a fool. I'll come back to you, and then now I have to go back every Thursday. So.
Anyone else?
In a nutshell.
What else? Want to share? They did something silly. Put themselves out there. Okay, that's interesting. The last time I did something silly, Katie and I, if you guys know Katie Kelly, it's my boss. She can't be here today. She and I went to a conference, and she is sillier than I am. Okay, she puts herself out there way more than I do. That's okay. Our personalities balance each other pretty well. And at the conference, they had one of those nights, a social night. You know, you're supposed to go out and talk to people and have a couple drinks, and most people hate that. There's people in this room that I know in your head are going, I'm not going to social night. You can't make me go to social night and sit and talk to people I don't know or that I work with. I'm not getting paid to be here, so I'm not going. Feel free to raise your hand if that's you. People I know that there's some people that are going, not me. Okay. We went to social night. Okay, and social night's fun activity was karaoke. Okay, now, this is my secret that I did not tell Katie, but I'm going to tell you guys. I knew that the social night activity was going to be karaoke. And I don't like to put myself out there and do karaoke. I'm not a good singer, but Katie loves karaoke. And I thought, God, dang it! I'm going to have to do karaoke. Months before, I was sitting at a friend's house, a couple of girlfriends, and I go, guys, I'm gonna have to do karaoke. Katie's gonna make me, or she's going to expect me to do karaoke, and I need a song ready to go that I've thought about ahead of time, where I know I can sing it. There's no, like, I'm gonna have to know the words by heart. I don't want to have to look at the screen and maybe mess up. What is it? What's a crowd pleaser, right? Because what pleases a Gen Z crowd is different than what pleases a Gen X crowd, is different than what pleases a millennial crowd, okay? So I'm like, what's a song that people are gonna know? They could sing along, crowd pleaser. We made lists, okay? Because my friends were like, we've got you, lists of songs. We're like, Believe by Cher, can I sing that? Do you believe in my life and love? You guys know that one?
Yes.
I can feel. Okay, so I was thinking that. It's like, okay, what about Dancing Queen by ABBA? Everyone knows that, but then that's like a really, no, okay, you can hear me. It's hard. You have to go up there and you have to stay up for a long time. And I'm not, you just heard me do those two little riffs, and you know I'm not good. okay? And so we sang, I was like, you know what I'm gonna sing? Goodbye Earl by the Chicks. I know that song. When I was a little kid, my mom, my dad is retired military, but when he was gone, my mom and her best friend Sharon would take my sister and I to Tuesday night kids eat free pizza buffet at Pizza Hut when they still had that, okay? And there was a jukebox, and my sister and I would go up there, and we would play Dixie Chicks, and we would play the Lion King songs, and we would like fill the jukebox. And we would sing Dixie Chicks in the middle of the, or sorry, they're called the Chicks now. The Chicks, Goodbye Earl, in the middle of the Pizza Hut. People would be singing along, but we were little kids. Because kids love to play, and kids aren't scared of play. That's how they connect with each other. But as adults, we kind of stop playing, okay? We get scared to play. We get scared that people are going to turn away from us when we start getting silly. And so I thought, I'm gonna sing the Chicks. I know that song. I've sang it in front of people before. It's been a while, but I've sang it in front of people before. I know the words. So no one can scare me about the Chicks. Well, that's also Katie's go-to song, apparently, because I just pretended that I was like, you know, we were sitting at the bar getting ready to do the karaoke, and I said, you know, I think, okay, I'll do karaoke, pretending I hadn't thought about this for weeks coming up, okay? Yeah, maybe, I'll do karaoke, fine. What song? Oh, I don't know. You know, my go-to karaoke song is a Goodbye Earl. She's like, oh my God, mine too, we'll do it together. Great. We sang karaoke, it was fun, people were singing along, it was all a good time, okay? But we really had to put, I mean, she didn't have to put herself out there, but I did. And it got me thinking, why don't we, karaoke used to be a big thing. Still goes on at Whiskey Dick's, but Chandler's laughing. But not a lot of places do karaoke anymore. And why do we think that is? Anyone? Again, I've got time. Go. Yes, please.
I think over the last few years, people become less social.
Oh, yes.
They're less joiners. We kind of went through a period of isolation during COVID, and I think people are less willing just to kind of put themselves out there and interact with each other.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And I think there's this part of us that we have.
I don't do karaoke either, by the way. So
You wouldn't have got up, you wouldn't have thought for weeks
I wouldn't
about what song you were going to sing. You wouldn't have agonized like I did. I think we have these phones in our pockets. And when I talk to teenagers and when I talk to students at Southern, it seems like, you're right, Dan, we're not putting ourselves out there as much because there is more fear than ever about someone being able to record you at any time. And that recording can live for as long as the person wants, as long as it's on their phone. They can send it to people, and you know, you used to be able to take recordings on like flip phones and stuff, but those weren't good, right? You had to like really like squint and like turn your head to the side and figure out what that even recording was when someone used to record you, unless they had a video camera, I guess, but now you can record people. You can put it on TikTok without their consent. You can put it on Snapchat. You can do all kinds of things. And so I find that people more and more are less likely to put themselves out there in public settings, right? Of like, when are we going to be silly? When are we going to play? And so that kind of brings me to what I do at the Small Business Development Center. Now, a lot of us in here, we tend to be doers because a lot of people in here own their own business, and owning your own business is scary anyway. You have to turn to someone and go, you know, I've got this idea and I'm going to do it, okay? And at the Small Business Development Center, we help you in a wide variety of ways that we can help you with your business idea. But a lot of those ways come in one-on-one counseling. And so I'm gonna pass these out. We have this pitch contest coming up. Oh, thank you. It's Pitch Palooza. I forgot to print the one that has the prizes on there. But it's a pitch contest. And there's prizes associated with what we're doing. So there's 4 different tracks: high school, collegiate, startup, and scalability. high school and collegiate tracks are getting a $1,000 scholarship to Missouri Southern if you win. Startup and scalability, there are cash prizes available, and you're going to be getting a 1-year membership to the chamber, the Joplin Chamber. And so it's not just for funsies. There's like tangible prizes to be had. But sometimes the problem isn't getting people to want to start their own business. We have plenty of people in the Joplin area and the Southwest Missouri area who do want to start their own business. We onboarded 88 new clients in January at the Small Business Development Center. So there's plenty of people out there who have an idea and want to put it out there. But not a lot of people want to sign up to put themselves out there in a pinch competition because it's vulnerable. They have to stand up, they have to pitch their idea, and there's a possibility that they won't win. Okay, that's scary for anyone, right? Even if I was speaking right now and there's like maybe a prize at the end and people go, well, Kelsey's talk wasn't the best one, like that could be scary, you know? But this does have prizes, and so we're like, okay, so people should want to join. And it's really not, the problem isn't really getting the word out there either, because I'm here talking. We've been on morning shows. We are going to be on the Shelby and Gary show. The chamber is associated with it. We're talking to people about it. People know, high schools know, FBLAs know, the college students at Southern know about it, so people know. But it's getting people from knowing about it and going, oh, that sounds kind of cool, to being like, I'm gonna put myself out there and I'm going to try and I'm going to put my idea out, and even if I don't win, it's okay because I've been taking a step out of my comfort zone. And so that's my problem that I'm having with people. Same goes with you guys. I mean, like we go back to my question, when was the last time you really put yourself out there? Mine had to be karaoke. But then before that, I had to think, when was the last time? When was the last time I did something truly scary? You know, I was having a conversation a long time ago with someone about college students studying abroad and the need for college students to study abroad. And I was talking to someone about it. He doesn't work at Southern anymore, and it's not Eli. And he was like, you know, I did my study abroad in the UK because they speak English there, and I wanted it to be easy. And I said, well, that's cool. I did my study abroad in Ecuador and France, and I spoke French and Spanish wrong to people, and they knew it. Okay? I accidentally told people that I was pregnant instead of embarrassed in Spanish. And people were like, really? I also accidentally said like dirty words without meaning to. Okay? But I do think it may be better because you have to put yourself in a vulnerable situation for people to get to know you. Same with like when people come here and are trying to learn English, are you quick to turn them away? Are you quick to stop and go, actually, you were really trying, let me see if I can help you. You know? Anyone think about those types of things? And so that is, I want to say, vulnerability is our big problem when trying to get people to come to events, because Dr. Cravens, you're right. Since COVID, you know, we talk about how do we get people to come to things in person and post-COVID. Everyone wants things on Zoom. Everyone wants this, but you know, neurobiologically, humans are meant to connect with people. We crave connection. We have to connect in order to feel human, in order to feel part of a system. And so I don't think people want to only be on Zoom. I think they're craving more and more opportunities to get out there and do something, but especially the ability to be recorded, how to put yourself out there, and the possibility that you won't get that connection stops people from doing anything. And so I'm gonna end, I know this hasn't been long, but I'm gonna end with a quote. It's from a speech that Theodore Roosevelt gave. It's my favorite. I come back to it a lot. Me and my partner come back to it a lot. when we're trying to do something scary. And I'm going to read it because I don't have it memorized, and I apologize for that. It's the Man in the Arena quote. And it goes like this. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or whether doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who is at best known in the end, who knows best in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory or defeat. So how do we get people to not be the people sneering at those in the arena, but actually step into it? And that's my question. That's my problem. Help me solve it.
Well, we need to solve it together, because that's our problem
Absolutely.
here with one of the ducks too.
Yeah, sure.
Is I think, we have people not wanting to present because, like you said, they gotta be vulnerable,
Sure.
and they're scared or whatever, speaking and all that kind of thing, so,
Sure.
yeah, that's the issue.
So I mean, and I think that's everyone's issue, right? It's not. Of course, I'm using Pitch Palooza because I want you guys to know about it. Okay.
Right.
Please come. It's open to the public. You can come even as a judge if you wanted to. You don't have to be there. We would love people to just come and watch. But we're not getting a lot of interest in signing up either. But again, it's not that people don't have business ideas, that they couldn't use the money because people come to me for grants all the time. It's not that. So again, it's how do we reinvigorate our community to get them okay with not only putting themselves out there, but okay with failure if they don't win, and to keep putting themselves out there.
So you're in the 07, right?
Yeah.
A lot of them are Gen Zs, right? And millennials.
So not necessarily millennials,
Gen Z.
mostly Gen Z, and we're gonna see Gen Alpha coming up pretty soon.
Oh gosh.
And the next 4 years or so, I think we're gonna start seeing our first Gen Alpha students.
Goodness gracious. But so they are like born into technology.
Absolutely.
The pandemic set everyone back.
Mhm.
Even millennials are set back because they're all with the technology. It's easier if I don't have to leave my house and I can sit in bed and just talk to someone on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot easier. But Gen Z has always been known to be the most entrepreneurial.
Right.
So I think what it is, they need to be taking a leap of faith.
Right.
Or we need to encourage them, build their confidence because we have that social pressure. I think the Gen Zs have the social
They
pressure.
absolutely
from
have the
everything,
social
that they have
pressure.
to be perfect. They've already got the resources for them, so why can't they be? But everyone else is done and they want perfect.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. When you have the Gen Zs in college,
Yeah.
and the Gen Alphas, that just ooh.
Does that kind of freak you out? Yeah. So. Yeah, and that's a problem, right? Because there's former educators in this room who can maybe speak to the differences between students in the classroom today than even 10 years ago. Of being able to have their phones, and again, they can film each other whenever they want. I know when I was in high school, if there had been Snapchat that someone could have filmed me in class and then sent it to a bunch of people, it would have been, that would have been crippling for me. It really would have. It would have been crippling for my self-esteem. I would not have been able to handle that. And I could see why students, especially our high school students, are struggling right now because they want connection so bad, but they don't know how to give it to each other in a lot of ways. And we're almost, I was talking back here about an etiquette coach, like what does it look like to sit down and know how to act with people at a table? Just even talking to them, what does that look like? We don't see, we'll hopefully see some more Gen Zs coming to this type of thing because it's an important skill. But again, we're talking about like, how do we continue to increase those risky, I don't want to say risky behaviors because that sounds like I'm suggesting they do drugs, you know, or like unprotected sex or something. That's not my suggestion. But, you know, those things that make them go, ooh, that was scary. Like yesterday we had an AI myth-busting AI, excuse me. I always want to call it AI myth-busting. It was myth-busting AI training at Southern. It was a panel. And we put it on, and students came, and I was really happy, and some of them were Zetas, and I advised with one of the sororities on Southern's campus at Zeta, and they were sitting in the back, and I needed them to ask a question, like there was something that we could tell in the audience wasn't quite hitting, and so I didn't want to be the one to interrupt because SBDC was putting it on, and so I went over, and the Zetas are sitting there, and so I went to one of them, I said, okay, I need one of you to be super brave, raise your hand, and ask this very specific question, okay? And they're going, okay, they're looking at each other, okay, just gonna put themselves out there, and Meadow's like, okay, fine, I'll do it, fine. And then so I handed her the mic, and she raised her hand, she asked her question afterwards, she goes, oh my God, that was so scary. That was so scary, I had to speak into the mic in front of all these people. I'm like, yeah, but you did it, and you survived. And there was confidence there afterward, because she was like, after I made her ask a question, because we really needed to steer the conversation another way, she would be like, go like, hey, Kelsey, I got another question, you just come over here. And then she was fine to do it the rest of the time. So it's getting them to just give them that, I don't want to say make them, because I never force anyone to do anything that they're like going to put them in danger. I always tell the girls that. You're not going to be in danger when I'm asking you to do something. You're not going to die raising your hand and asking a question in the microphone, okay? This also isn't being recorded, so no one's going to, if you mess up a word, no one's going to know. It's going to be fine. But it boosted her confidence. And we see, you know, FBLA already does that for students. We see it in clubs, and we see it everywhere, but it's just like a game. How do we get them to sign up for something that's going to benefit them? At the end of the day, if they win, they get $1,000 to Southern. Excellent. If they don't, they get public speaking experience, which is also excellent. I mean, you have to do those small things to gain the confidence to continue to do them and put yourself out there. And Gen Z is very entrepreneurial, where they want to work for themselves. But can you be an entrepreneur while being too afraid to stand up and talk about what your business idea is? Not really, you know? I mean, you can be like one of those silent entrepreneurs, but then how are people gonna know you exist? It can happen, but what are the chances of success? It goes down a little bit.
I also wonder about, so when I used to go to 1 Million Cups in Springfield initially, and somebody would like hand me them, like I would raise my hand to ask a question and then hold the mic, my heart would be beating like so fast, I could hardly even get my question out, and I was just sitting in the audience.
Yeah.
And so at 1 Million Cups in Springfield, they had people come and like practice their presentations before they actually did them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you're letting the people who are part of the pitch competition do? Like, you know, providing some feedback to them before they like.
But we have talked about it, like very briefly. We're kind of like, should we have people come in and give a little practice session with us? We could definitely.
Because I know
offer
that made me like I wouldn't have signed up to present at 1 Million Cups in Springfield if I didn't know I was like gonna get a time to practice
little
on the
practice
stage with the mic and have people like tell me like, oh,
and
that's
show you where you're going to be and all that fun stuff.
Yes, and just
That's a good reminder on that, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I want to say, supporting my neighbor next door, Kelsey. By the way, SBDC does wonderful work. I would highly, highly recommend it to anybody. The second thing I was going to say is, you know, one of the big benefits of this is not the prize money so much, or the scholarships. Those are all great, wonderful things, but only a limited number go windows.
Sure.
Getting feedback is so important because so many people start a business based on talking to maybe a few friends and family. Do you think this is a great idea? And friends and family are going to be very kind and very polite to you and they'll tell you exactly what they think you want to hear most of the time. But our judges who are very kind and they're not going to be mean or rude or you know, condescending in any way, they're going to give you honest, thoughtful feedback from experienced folks. And that's very helpful. And one of the things also too, for those businesses, those startups, those new ideas, those established companies that want to grow and want to scale up, it's going to get some exposure. We're going to have media there, and we're going to get to know you, and that's also very valuable too. You might run into somebody, you know, investor might come to this because it's open to the community, not to scare people more. But you know, and you know, you might make that contact. That could be that angel investor that can really help boost your business and take it to the next level. So that's a good thing. So anyway, I just want to share that.
Yeah, no. And that's absolutely true because at the end of the day, it's not always about the prize money, and I don't think it is. Not only feedback, but again, I work with a lot of businesses who have a great idea, but then we start like the business plan portion of it. There's a lot that they haven't thought through, but it's a great idea. So we just need to tweak it and refine it and keep going. And that's just where you have to start. And sometimes that's, again, we don't have a problem getting clients. We don't have a problem with one-on-one conversations with people. It is getting people to come and speak about their ideas that is so hard. And for high school and college, technically, it could just be an idea. You're not obligated to move forward with this whatever idea that you throw out there. We're not going to force you to do it. It's just, let's throw it out there. See what lands. You do it, folks.
I think what you just mentioned is a great draw, though. I mean, to say,
Yeah.
come and get free feedback from experts on your business idea or your proposal.
Yeah.
And maybe promoting that, so it's not just about,
The pitch.
like American Idol, and am I gonna make it or not, right? But it's,
Well, because
I'm gonna get that feedback.
on Shark Tank, they get a little grouchy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're not grouchy, and I think the other thing is too, just to add, I'm sorry to.
No, please do, Dan.
You know, human nature, sports are popular for a reason, because people like to compete. And I mean, competition's not a bad thing. I mean, business to some degree is competition. And I mean, even if you don't finish first, you know where you're at, and you know where you can improve. You can recognize what you did well, and there's a benefit to that. You know, my kids, and I think they're alphas, by the way, too.
Gen Alpha, yeah.
I noticed the fear in the room when we said I'm Generation Alphas.
I know, there was like, oh my gosh, yes, you must start planning for
I'm
Gen
Gen
Alpha.
I'm Gen X, and that's scary enough. But anyway, even though my kids did Little League baseball, you know, a lot of fun, and most of the time they were on teams that were less than championship level. But they still had a great time. I mean, I remember my daughter was on one, and I mean, I think they won 4 games. You know, they're like 4-7, 4-8, something like that. But you know, they had a great experience, and you can still have a great experience and not win.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing. So anyway.
No, I'm glad. Because that's the thing that it's like, you have to remind people, it could still be fun. You don't have to win the karaoke competition. I know, Lord knows I wouldn't. But you can have fun. You can have fun doing it. You can make connections. Even like 1 million cups. You can't win 1 million cups, right? There's no best speech of the year. Thank goodness. But you do get a coffee cup. But you know, it's just kind of a show up prize, do you?
Coffee cup.
It's a great coffee cup. But still, you know, again, it's one of those things. It's not about raising awareness. It's more about like, come and make connections. That's scary enough for people, even if we didn't have prize money. Come make connections. Get some feedback. Oh, someone might tell me that I suck. Don't want to hear that. You just don't. And so, yeah, anyway, that's our problem. That's 1 million cups problem. That's probably everyone in this room's problem, honestly, getting people to come to things, put themselves out there, and I just wanna talk about it. And Pitchpalooza, of course, because
And you got a guest speaker coming up too, don't you?
we do have a guest speaker. Thank you for that, Dan.
I gotta be good for something
Yeah.
else.
And for that segue into, we do have more guest speakers. Of course, you can always go to mssutraining.com to figure out what trainings the Small Business Development Center is doing. We just had a great AI one yesterday. But the same week that we're having the pitch contest, it's going to be kind of like an entrepreneurship week. We are having JD Anderson, the Iceman, come.
Is he a Guinness World Record?
I don't know if he's a world record holder, but he has been on several Got Talents.
Gotcha.
America's Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent. I look him up later. He smashes bats with his face, or not with his face, sorry, on his like back. He smashes ice with his face. That's where he's the Iceman.
But he's a nice guy.
I think he was like runner up in Britain's Got Talent. Anyway, nice guy, very nice. But he's going to kick off our entrepreneurship speaker series. Again, we're talking, and it's open to the community. Yes, it's at Missouri Southern, so we want students to come because again, we're talking about everyone putting themselves out there, especially students. especially our Gen Z folks, especially our Gen Alpha folks in the coming years as we build the entrepreneurial culture at Missouri Southern, talking about, okay, who can we bring to this who's not just a dude in a suit, talking about how he became CEO, no offense to Mitch, but like how he became CEO of Leggett and Platt, and we love him, nice guy. Will students connect with him? JD, just a dude. If he doesn't come in cutoffs and a cutoff like shirt, I'm gonna be disappointed. I will, just like, man, where's the authenticity? Anyway, but he has a story of just like how he got started. It's silly. Smashing eyes with your face. What the heck? How did you learn you were good at that? That's my question that I can't wait to ask. But it's still, if I came up here and I was like, I think I'm going to start smashing eyes with my face, would anyone say that's a good business idea? Hey, Kelsey.
I wouldn't stop you.
I know you wouldn't stop me, but would you go, great idea. Give that a go and see where it takes you. No.
Only if you're a plastic surgeon.
Exactly. So it's just like, silly, but it works. And now he wholesales bats here in Joplin.
Yeah.
Okay, great guy.
I saw him on Facebook for his bats too, so he's
Yeah,
But this is a great speaker because a lot of times, especially for younger people,
Yeah.
dealing with college students, or dealing with high school students, even in general, entrepreneurship is fun. It's a chance to be creative. This guy's very creative. He's having a lot of fun, and a lot of people they miss that. They think entrepreneurship is just about the money.
Yeah.
But it isn't. It's about being creative and it's having fun. And a lot of times it's about changing the world around you.
Yeah, well, and my big thing in business that I typically tell most of my clients is that business is people. Again, we're going back to the connection. If you're not connected with your community, if you're not connected with the people around you, can you understand how your business should run? Maybe a small percentage of people can, but at the end of the day, small business is coming from things like this. It's coming from 1 Million Cups. It's meeting the J.D. Andersons of the world. It's talking to the chamber. It's supporting, your local community in any way that you can, and giving back, and having fun, and then you get to be your own boss. How cool! And it's about being creative. It's not about always. It's not always about just being the executive in the suit. Boring. You want to talk to that guy? Anyway, that's my stuff. Anyone else have anything else to say? I'd love more feedback. Please give it to us because we're looking to solve this problem.
I'll tell businesses about it too.
Yeah.
Because I call businesses, and a lot of them are too busy to find out what's going on in the community because they're in their little bubble working and managing whatever they're doing. So
Exactly.
I'll
Well, that's
try
the
to
next thing.
put the word in. So
Is that-
it's on our calendar, and you guys shouted out to all the members. I just saw that earlier last week, right?
Yeah, well, because the Doug Hunt is helping us with it. He's Director of Entrepreneurship at the Chamber. They're partnering with us, and so we have partnerships with the Chamber. But again, it's just kind of not only getting word out is important, and we still need judges. So if anyone's interested in judging, come see me. But also just participating or just showing up. It's awkward to have a pitch competition and have a lot of participants, but no one in the community show up too. It could be weird. So we just want people to come and support our local entrepreneurial ecosystem in the area because business is people and it's being vulnerable and it's connecting.
Does it just have to be Joplin High? Can be high school?
Any high school. Any high school in the Southwest Missouri area we've been talking to.
Well, yeah, actually, I think, for the tracks, it's even outside of,
Yes.
We invited community colleges,
Mhm.
colleges that are outside, so Pittsburgh State, for example, is invited.
Yeah.
Independence Community College, it's not just the Joplin area, so.
Exactly. So anyone can come. Yeah.
And there's no cost to register, correct?
Exactly. No cost to register.
Have you tried getting the information to the Southwest Center in West City? Once a month, all of the area superintendents meet there. And that would be, I can give you an email address of a lady who can help you get it out to the superintendents.
Absolutely.
Who could maybe get it to the high schools.
Perfect. Yeah, we would love that because we've been talking, Dan, you've been going to like FBLAs and things like that, but sometimes students outside of FBLA want to be an entrepreneur, and we want to get anyone who wants to come on down and be a part of the event. So yeah, I would love that.
And if you're a high school student, let's be honest, it's a great way to get off campus for the day.
Yes. What a great day to kind of be out at Southern, bop around, have an open campus lunch, listen, you know, instead of
Do
being in
karaoke
classes.
too, if this is all else fails, we'll settle with karaoke.
Yeah, and karaoke if we have to. None of them would participate because they're too scared. You know, one of those things. Okay, yes, I would love that. Okay. Anyone else?
What about Moso Caps?
Yes. We've been talking to Moso Caps. We're talking to Newton County Caps. All those I shouldn't call them kids. Young adults.
They have to have a good idea, a capstone project idea.
Yeah. So yeah, they all are working on like business ideas. So yeah, they'd be perfect. It's just again, it's not that there's lack of ideas.
Yeah.
It's just lack of them going. Should I don't know. Are you doing it? And Jim, are you gonna be there? Can we go together?
Did you talk to Kelly Lane with, New Cats?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna be there next week. It's on my calendar to go. So yeah, we're talking to all the people, I think, except for the superintendents. I don't have them. Got them on my list. All right. Anything else? Well, thank you guys for letting me speak today.